I didn't grow up watching Mammootty. In fact, I didn't even know how to properly pronounce his name at first. But then something happened. Someone said to me, "You can't understand Malayalam cinema without Mammootty." So I watched a film, then another and another. And somewhere along the way, I fell in love. Not just with Mammootty, but with something bigger, with a culture, a language, a legacy. So this is for him, Namude Mammootty, and for all of you who loved him your whole lives. The first Mammootty film I ever saw was Perenbu. I didn't know anything about the story. I just remember watching him and thinking, who is this man who says so little but makes me feel so much? Every expression was a poem. Every silence was a storm. I was crying, not because the movie told me to cry, but because he made me feel like I lived that pain. That was the moment I realized this wasn't acting. This was something else. Over time, I learned that Mammootty is more than a superstar. He's Kerala's mirror. His films reflect your politics, your history, your humor, your grief. One day, he's a CBI officer in a crisp white shirt. The next, he's a poor village man speaking the Palakkad slang. Or a dying father in Tamil Nadu whispering truths. I watched Muniyarappu and felt uneasy for 2 days. I watched Nan Pakal Nirathu Mayakam and felt like I was dreaming in someone else's language. The more I watched, the more I understood Mammootty doesn't just play characters. He opens windows into human souls. There's something else about Mammootty, something rare. He doesn't just show strength, he shows grace. He can command a room with one glare, but he can also shatter your heart with a single tear. In Thaniyar Vathanam, he plays a man slowly broken by his family fears. I watched him fall apart on screen and I couldn't look away. He showed me that masculinity isn't about power, it's about truth. About standing when the world wants you to pretend. That's real strength. Okay. Can we talk about how ridiculously stylish he is? Like, sir, why do you look so good in a mundu? Big B, I wasn't watching for the plot. I was watching that walk. He's 72. Why does he still have the kind of aura that makes you sit straighter in your seat? Okay, if you're still with me, I want to try something bold. I'm going to tell you my top 5 Mammootty characters. Don't cancel me if I missed your favorite. This list hurts to make. Patellar from Vindayan terrified me, but underneath the cruelty, there was sadness. He made a tyrant feel human. Number 2, Kutishrank from Kutishrank. 3 women, 3 versions of him, like a ghost in 3 mirrors. Up at number 3, James from Nankapal, Nerathu Mayakam. Still, silent, haunting. He moved like a spirit lost between lives. Number 4, Kodumanpati from Brahmayugam. That face, that voice, that stare. Ancient, evil, beautiful. And up at number 5, Monichan from Palunko. Simple, honest, protective. The scene on the bus, that destroyed me. Through Mammootty, I started falling in love with something deeper. Malayalam. A language I can barely pronounce, but one that feels like music when he speaks it. His voice is old like silk and slow thunder. Someone once said, Malayalam cinema is where literature meets the lens, and Mammootty, he's the bridge from books to screen, from the heart of Kerala to people like me. Because Mammootty doesn't just act. His characters are like living pages from your greatest books. Each role is a tribute to the stories, poems, and plays that shape Malayalam minds. No wonder kids in Kerala grew up reading Basheer. And somewhere along the way, you start taking those characters into your real life. That's why Mammootty's performances feel so familiar, because they're born from a culture that takes stories seriously. Kerala doesn't separate cinema from literature. If you're watching this, tell me, what's the Mammootty film that changed you? What's the dialogue you'll never forget? What role made you say, only Mammootty can do this? I'm still learning, and I'd like for you to be my guide. Mammootty, thank you for making this white girl fall in love with Malayalam cinema like it was her own. And if you're even a little bit curious about why this man Mammootty changed how I see cinema, go watch the full version. Trust me, it's not just about him. It's about culture, literature, language, love. And if you enjoy it, subscribe. Because I've only just started falling in love with Malayalam cinema, and there's so much more to discover.